I got asked to do Jamie's best friend, and what I'm supposed to tell you is how he feels in the story, and how he's fits in the story. So how he feels in the story, he thinks he's like the funniest guy out of it, but his best friend Jamie thinks doesn't really get the jokes, and how he is in the story is he's Jamie's best friend.
My name is Amy, and I was picked to be the old lady in this story. My character gets mad at Jamie and his best friend, and how my character is a part of the story is because they are the ones going in her garden.
Asked to do Jamie, and Jamie feels like he's the funniest out of the two, and how he's in the story is he's always the one who's getting in trouble.
Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 is Jamie and his friend were walking along the creek. On their way home, they went into an old lady's garden, and they knocked over some of their flower pots. The old lady got mad, so they had jobs. Their jobs were to scrape the Japanese beetles off the plants.
We should take the shortcut on the lady's yard. Come on.
What are you guys doing? Since you're in my yard, you have to work for me tomorrow. The next morning. Are you guys working?
Yes.
God.
Ow! Jamie, are you okay? Jamie, are you dead?
No, he's not dead. He's faking.
He might. Seriously, I think he's dead. Wake up, Jamie. Wake up.
It says in Chapter 3 to compare and contrast the characters you selected and yourself. So my character is Jamie's best friend, and he likes to mess around a lot and tell jokes, and I don't really like to go and mess around. I try not to, and then I tell jokes sometimes, but not ones that you don't understand, I guess. The genre is a type of book.
A realistic fiction book is something that can be real but is made up.
Another example is historical fiction. Historical fiction is something that's passed on through time to time.
Our genre is realistic fiction. Realistic fiction is something that can be real but isn't.
The problem is that Jamie got bit by a Japanese beetle, but he is really sick and hurt, and we haven't found the resolution yet. Found that there was no resolution, and Jamie dies.
A theme is like a subject or topic of a story. The plot summary of Chapter 6 is that Jamie's friend thought that he was responsible for Jamie's death. The plot summary of Chapter 7 is Jamie's best friend goes to his funeral. He was so sad, and his little sister was confused about what is going on.
Both of us have the same character. The character is Jamie's friend.
Some of the One of the events that impacted Jamie's best friend was that when Jamie died, he was super sad and lonely for the rest of the time and couldn't get over it. So that's one of the events that happened to Jamie that impacted our character.
My character is Jamie, and one thing that impacted him is he got bit by a Japanese beetle and got poisoned and died.
We are the same person. Nothing really impacts our character because our character is only one little short part. The author's purpose is about an adventurous, strong friendship that sadly gets broken up by death.
I wouldn't recommend this book because I don't like sad stories, and why I don't like this book is because the sad stories, I don't like some people like dying or like that, so that's why I wouldn't recommend this book.
I wouldn't recommend this book because it's not adventurous, and on the back it spoils how someone dies.
I would and wouldn't recommend this book. I wouldn't because it's really sad and some people don't like sad stories just like me. And I would because it teaches young kids about really good friendship.
I'd recommend this book because it's full of adventures, and I would not recommend it because the back shows what will happen. So I would and I wouldn't recommend this book because it's a really good book, but it spoils on the back of the page. Like it says how one character dies, and I think that's kind of a spoiler thing. And why I would recommend it is because it's a really good book, and it teaches you about like the friendship of two friends.
I recommend this book because it has adventure and they travel a lot.
The thing that's about to happen in the story is a funeral, and we think it's a big part of the story, so that's why we're acting it out.
We have to go.
This isn't fair.
We have to go.
I can't. It's not fair.
It's time.
We are all gathered here today to represent Jamie's death.